Good morning, and welcome to Vigilant Broadcasting. The station opportunity presents Underneath the Hat with your host, author Sherri Simmons, as she discusses topics to help us all take care of ourselves underneath the hat.
Good morning, and welcome to Underneath the Hat, an affiliate of Vigilant Broadcasting and the Talk Radio and TV Network, LLP. My name is Sherri Simmons, and today we are going to be discussing young ladies at all times. If you're on Facebook, you can go and check us out live right now on Talk Radio TV Network, LLP. If you want to call in and discuss young ladies at all times, you can call at 319-527-2634. So our topic today is young ladies at all times. And for those of you that may not have been with me a few weeks ago where I discussed it, this is my mentoring program that I started for young girls ages 10 through 14 years old. The program started in 2017. And it came about because I was an intermediate math teacher in a CPS school here in Chicago. And I was also in my second master's program for curriculum and instruction. And one of the assignments I had to do was basically try to figure out a connection between real world and the classroom. And one thing I noticed is that my 10 through 15, 14-year-old girls were acting inappropriately. And because I'm a fan of reality TV, a lot of the things that I saw them do as far as conflict resolution, I knew came from and stemmed from reality TV. So I did my dissertation on the effects of reality TV on young girls between the ages of 10 through 12. And so from there, God placed this idea in my head to do young ladies at all times. It also stems from my book, Underneath the Hat, where I discuss about the character Amanda Jane and the various things that she went through and how throughout all of it, all of the hurt and pain that she went through, she still carried herself as a young lady at all times. And given some of the things that she dealt with, it could have ended badly. But because she remembered those values that were instilled in her and they came to the surface when needed, she was able to get out of the situation and handle herself appropriately. So I started this program in 2017, and it began at a school called Park Manor Elementary on the south side of Chicago with 6th and 7th graders. And thanks to Principal Jenkins, I was able to work with these 8 girls, and we were able to cover so many different topics from etiquette classes to self-esteem to personal hygiene. They were able to get different visitors that came in to speak with them based on the path and the careers that they wanted to go into. And so from that, 2018 came, and because of medical issues, I wasn't able to pick up the program again. But this year, 2019, March, I hit the ground running, and we even increased from 1 school to 2. So now we're at Wentworth Elementary in Inglewood and Nicholson STEM Academy in Inglewood, thanks to the help of my board of directors and my best friend, Glenda Baker. She helps me with the Nicholson group, which is 4th and 5th graders, and I work with the 6th and 7th graders at Wentworth. We meet once a week, and one thing that I am very big on is that you cannot be what you don't see. And so I make sure that my girls have a purpose and a vision and a mission that we pledge to each other every week that we see each other. So as soon as they come in, we have a mantra that we read, and it goes based on the initials YLAAT. So the Y means you are important. L, love yourself first. A, always try your best. A smile goes a long way. And T, touch the lives of someone every day. So they recite this to each other at the beginning of every meeting and at the end of every meeting. And I make sure that they face that girl and they tell her this, because sometimes in some of these households now, we have girls raising other people, and they don't get to hear any positive reinforcement. And so I wanted to make sure that they knew that they were important. And so it was very vital to this program that they shared this information with each other. So one thing that we do, again, going back to that quote by Marian Wright Edelman, you can't be what you don't see, is I have people come based on the careers that they want to go into. I have people come in and have discussions with them. So this week we had a discussion about constitution, how to handle a bully, and personal hygiene with my 6th and 7th graders. And KB Evans came in. You may remember her from a couple of weeks ago when she talked about the visit she had with the 4th and 5th graders. And so she, due to an illness, she wasn't able to come in that week to see the 6th and 7th graders, but she held on to her promise, and she came in and spoke to the girls about conflict resolution. And the conversation was amazing. They were really excited to have her there and to hear from the young ladies what their idea of it was. And I have the picture here that I took that I shared on our Facebook page, Young Ladies at All Times. She asked them questions. She was like, so with conflict resolution, you have the why. How do you deal with it? And they discussed that. And then the what. What is it? What's the problem? When do you need to address it? And then the how, which she said goes with the when. And then who do I tell? Who is the problem? How does fear cause problems, and why I can't solve the problem? And then she also discussed personal hygiene, the proper way to assure that you're always fresh. She talked to them about the types of deodorants that they use, the types of soaps that they use, and being young ladies who are turning into women, where you put the soap, the smelly works, the Victoria's Secrets, all of those things can play with your pH balance. And so there are certain places that you should not place. There are certain places that you should not place it. And so so that you don't throw off your counterbalance. And so she was very helpful with the girls. A lot of the girls let us know that they don't really like to have conversations with people. They don't trust people. Some of the girls said that they have trust issues. And so it was good to know that they felt open enough to have those conversations with her so that ultimately they can heal and become better women. And I've had women tell me that they don't, they like the program that I have, those that have come to visit, because they know as women now, they wish they would have had these same conversations with women our age. And so they're glad that we've been able to, I've been able to work with these girls at an early age so that they don't make some of the same mistakes that we made. And that was one of the things that I loved about this group, is that even at 10 through 14, 15 years old, these girls are not afraid to speak their minds. That is really actually something that I really like about them, even though they're younger than me, old enough to be my daughters, I really love the fact that they are happy and willing and able to speak their mind, which I still grapple with sometimes. I've just come into my own where I feel comfortable and I know my value and my worth. And so it's good to see that they have those qualities at such an early age. Now, with someone, we just got to rein them in because they'll go off the handle and say some things to people that they shouldn't be saying. So that is where the etiquette classes come in. That is where the self-respect comes in, the respect for other people. So now that you have this great gift of being able to speak your mind, I now need you to know when to use it, because it can be a weapon. The Bible says that life and death is in the power of the tongue. And if you don't use it correctly, you can hurt people and burn bridges and mess up relationships. So now that we know they have this gift, now we have to hone in on it and make sure that they take good care of it. So they were able to meet with KB Evans. She came in and had a conversation with them. And they've also been working on this legacy project, which I'm very excited about. So for those of you who may have seen Beyonce's Netflix documentary called Homecoming, I love Beyonce, by the way. I've seen her 3 times in concert. I've even traveled to Detroit to see her. So one thing I like about her is that she is the personification of a young lady or a lady who carries herself that way at all times. And so I wanted to use something to spark their attention, someone that I knew would grab their attention as young girls who I'm sure they've heard about, seen before. And so after watching her documentary on Netflix twice, I realized that she's basically putting her legacy on film. And by legacy, I mean, what does she want to be remembered for? And so I decided to do this activity with my girls. It originally started as an activity for my class at Wentworth. I'm a STEM coach there. And so I was going to do this project with my 8th graders because they're on their way to high school. What legacy do you want to leave at Wentworth? And I was like, the girls should do this too. So we're doing a legacy project where they have to do 3 things. First, they have to create a tagline. Give us who you are in a phrase or a sentence, so that when we hear that phrase, hear that tagline, we know it's you. Just like Just Do It, we know it's Nike. Taste the Rainbow, we know it's Skittles. So what would be your tagline? They also have to create a crest, because in Beyonce's Homecoming documentary, she wore a crest on her outfit. And so they had to create a crest of different characteristics and traits that they wanted to be remembered by. And then finally, they had to create a 10-page slide of either song lyrics, quotations, pictures, movies, whatever they wanted to do, however they wanted to mash it up, of different things that explained who they were. Sometimes we can look at a picture and like, ooh, that is me. Or we can look at a quote and like, ooh, I like that. That explains who I am. And so they had to do those 3 things. That was the criteria: the crest, the tagline, and the 10 slides with different various examples representing who they were. And so the girls have actually been excited about it. Some of them have been working on it at home. I shared it with them through Google Classroom, and I also shared with them my example because, again, you can't be what you don't see. So I made sure that I created a legacy before so that I could share with them as to what it could look like. So my tagline is demonstrates quality by leading with integrity, drive, and consistency. And the reason I chose that tagline is because it encompasses my favorite quotes: quality over quantity. And it speaks on the 3 characteristics I pride myself on: integrity, drive, and consistency. So as far as quality over quantity, being in the education system for 15 years now, I have seen where we have deteriorated in our idea of what education is and what it should look like. And I feel now it's all about numbers and not about the quality that we're giving our children. And it really upsets me. It really does. I am very clear about the purpose of this show, which is to be transparent, and it really makes me upset. Now, I'm not a mother yet, but I try to live by the saying of do unto others as you will have them do unto you. So I try to do unto other people's children as I would want someone to do unto mine. I have the same expectations as I would for my own children that I have for my students. And so it bothers me when I'm in a bubble that does not value quality over quantity. And so I make sure that inside my classroom, everything that I do, it's more about the quality of it and not about how many people are reading my book, how many people are listening to the radio show, how many people are watching my web series on YouTube, but what are they getting out of it? So I never want to cheat them or cheat the gift and the purpose and responsibility that God has given me by trying to care so much about numbers. Because I would rather have 5 people work for me that do what they're supposed to do than 50 people work for me and only 5 of them are doing it correctly. So that is where part of my tagline comes from. And then the 3 characteristics that I pride myself on: integrity, drive, and consistency. I don't think that you can appreciate quality over quantity if you don't have integrity. There's a quote that says that integrity is what you do when no one's watching. So I act the same way I would act in private as I do in public. And I try to carry myself as such. And with being consistent, if you're doing the same thing that you're doing in private and public, then you are consistent. I believe that consistency creates a pattern and a tradition. And if you're doing the best and expecting quality out of your consistency, then you will have a great product. And as far as drive, I've always been self-determined, even as a little girl. I don't need people to push me. I was speaking to someone this week, and one thing she said to me was that you're one of those people, I don't have to guide you to do something. I can give you something and you drive it. And so that has always been me. I'm not the type of person to just sit around. If I can't give you 110%, I'm not going to do it at all. I don't like wasting my time or yours. I value everyone's time. And so if I can't do something 110%, then I'll take a step back. Again, quality over quantity. And then with my crest, all I did was I found the 4 components of my tagline, found little clip arts from Google, and put them in a template of a crest. So I have integrity, transparency, consistency, and drive. And those are the 4 things that I have on my crest. As far as some of the songs or quotes that I used in my PowerPoint, my biggest one is you can't be what you can't see. And I have the logo for Young Ladies at All Times posted next to it, which is the tell-all of this whole foundation. I want these girls to know that you can be more than what you see on TV. You don't handle conflict resolution by throwing chairs and glasses, jumping over tables, taking your shoes off while you're having a conversation. You can be more than what you see outside your neighborhood window. You don't have to sell your body. You don't have to settle for less. You are valuable. you are important. Love yourself first. And I want them to see women that are doing that. I want them to hear from women that are doing that. I want them to see women that are scientists who grew up like you, who grew up in the same neighborhoods, who have the same skin pigmentation as you do. It's possible. But I knew that if I never showed them this, they wouldn't believe me. Because one thing about us as a people, period, red, white, blue, green, purple, brown, we have the saying of, I believe it when I see it. And so I knew I couldn't just keep telling them stuff, because I know they come from households and from neighborhoods where people tell them stuff all the time. They hear people saying stuff all the time, but nothing's done. So I wanted to make sure that they saw it, that these women came in and spoke to them, shared their story, and to see all of the light bulbs go off in their eyes when people were talking to them in the field that they wanted to be in. The fact that they know I heard them when they said, I want to be a pastor, and I brought a pastor in. The fact that I heard them when they said they want to be a scientist, and I brought a scientist in. The fact that I heard them when they said they want to be a chef, and we have a chef coming in next week. That is breaking down that wall and allowing these girls to know that I am important. Because Ms. Simmons sees it. These women see it enough to come, take time out of their busy schedules to come and sow a seed into me, to speak to me. And then another song, a song that I like, and the kids were shocked that I even knew this song, is All I Do Is Win by DJ Khaled. Now, I can be a little ratchet when I want to. I like good music. I don't like music that I got to squint my eyes and have my mouth open because I don't know what they're saying. So I like songs that have quality. And so it says, all I do is win, 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 no matter what. Everything that I do, I give 110% so that I can be the best at it that I can be. Another one that I spoke about is this song from The Color Purple by Fantasia called I Am Here. And I've actually seen Fantasia play Seeley in The Color Purple here in Chicago, and then I've seen it again on Broadway in New York. I love musicals, as you could tell from the song lyrics and the Beyonce. I love music. I love dancing. I love acting. And so when I saw this play, I was like, oh, my God. But there's a song called I Am Here that Fantasia sings, or Seeley sings, to basically explain that I'm here. Don't ignore me. I am important. Love yourself first, which is part of the mantra of my program. So in the song, she's motivating herself. She's encouraging herself to know how important she is and letting everybody else know, you need to pay attention to me because I'm here and I'm not going anywhere. And the picture that I used was the cover of my book, Underneath the Hat, because I was finally able to tell my story through the characters of Amanda Jane, that I've been hiding all this time, hiding who I am underneath this hat. But I'm here. I've been here the whole time. And now that I realize my value and my worth, I'm ready to share who I am. And so the last song that I used in my PowerPoint is Living My Best Life by Lil Duval. Just the lyrics of the song are funny to me, but just the chorus, I'm living my best life, I ain't going back and forth with you. Like, I got too much to do to be worried about what other people are saying, what other people are thinking. I don't really care. I'm just going to enjoy what God has allowed for me to have, what he has allowed for me to do, and while you sitting over there mad and upset, not smiling, that's okay. I'm just going to continue to live my best life. And so that is the activity that the girls are working on, and I'm going to share with you later on in the show how I'm going to bring this legacy project in to the conclusion of Young Ladies at All Times, our spring cohort. But until then, we're going to take a break. And when I come back, I'm going to discuss with you what we have coming up. And some of the people who have actually come and spoken to the girls. So this is Underneath the Hat, and we'll be back shortly.
Welcome back to Underneath the Hat with your host, Dr. Sherri Simmons. Welcome back to Underneath the Hat with your host, Dr. Sherri Simmons.
Hello. Welcome back to Underneath the Hat, an affiliate of Vigilant Broadcasting and the Talk Radio and TV Network, LLP. I am your host, Sherri Simmons, and our topic today is Young Ladies at All Times, which is the name of my mentoring program that I use with my girls within the Chicago public school system. So I've been sharing about the things that we've been doing with the girls thus far, and I'm really excited about what we're getting ready to do. And so when we left, I was sharing with everyone about the activity that I have them doing, which is their legacy project, and they've been creating what they want to be remembered for. What will their legacy be? And so I've been very proud of the things that I've seen so far, and I'm just glad to know that they are taking this seriously. They've actually been working on their crest, and they've been designing and coming up with their tagline that they want to be remembered by. So for those of you that may be on Facebook now, if you want to join us, I've started a watch party on my page, Sherri Simmons, or you can go to Talk Radio TV Network, LLP, where we are live. If you want to call in to discuss, you've heard something that I've said about my program, Young Ladies at All Times, you can call at 319-527-2634. So I mentioned earlier that the quote that goes very well with explaining the purpose of my program is "You Can't Be What You Don't See" by Marian Wright Edelman. And I love that quote because given that these girls grow up in Inglewood, the Inglewood neighborhood, which we have all heard horror stories about on the news, the shootings and the different things that are going on there is always a light in every dark room, every dark space. And so I wanted to be this light because I've been a girl their age that got involved and did some things that I should not have done, losing my virginity early, and I was a little fast, I'll admit that. But that was because I was looking for love in all the wrong places, as the song says. My parents had gotten divorced when I was 10, and I went from being the oldest girl, the oldest child, to basically helping take care of my brother and sister. And so having my father in the house all the time while my mom worked, and then having to go from doing the things that they used to do, to go from being a student to doing those things, that's a lot on a 10-year-old. And so my dad was very, very affectionate. He told us he loved us. He showed us he loved us. We would kiss him. We would hug our dad. We got those hugs and things that the kids yearn for now. So when my dad left due to his drug abuse, my world shattered. And so I ended up looking for someone to tell me they love me, someone to show me that they love me. And so I ended up falling for the okie doke and having sex at 12 years old. Do I regret it? No, because it made me into the woman that I am now. I would not be able to do the things that I've done, share the stories that I've shared, be a testimony to someone else, especially these girls who are dealing with it now, whose dad never was even in the picture. At least I had mine for 10 good years. He was there every day, put us to bed, made sure our clothes were clean, made sure we ate, made sure our homework was done. Some of these girls have never even met their father or have a bad reputation or idea of who their father is. So I at least got the opportunity to have a relationship with mine. And so I don't have any regrets for the things that I've done or the things that happened to me because they made me who I am. And so that's the whole purpose of the program. Part of it is to show these girls how to use what they have, the things that you've been through, in order to be a stronger person. And one way that I do that is by having women who look like them, who used to be them, come in and show them that there's another way to do it. And one of the people we have been blessed to have come is my mother, Reverend Teresa Jackson. She is an administrative assistant at the church I grew up in, the Congregational Church of Park Manor in Chicago, but she's also a minister. And one of the girls stated in her application that she wanted to be a pastor. So I asked my mom to come in. My mom came in. She had her 2 robes. She brought in her Bible. She had a PowerPoint presentation for the girls of different things. The girls got to ask her questions. Now, she told me she wasn't expecting the questions that they had. But these kids are smart. They pay attention to a lot. And so I'm never surprised by what comes out of their mouth. They definitely keep me on my toes. And so she came in and spoke to the girls. We also had Danielle Townsend, who is an entrepreneur of D. Mayel Incorporated, and she came in and spoke to the girls. Come to find out that one of our young ladies in 4th and 5th grade is an entrepreneur in the making. She makes little clay dolls, little small tiny ones, like maybe 2-3 inches long. And she shared with us that day actually the dolls that she had made, and she's in 4th grade. And she makes these dolls, and she makes little kit cribs for the dolls. And we were able to see one of our sisters, as they call each other, one of the young ladies sharing her entrepreneurial experience and ideas with her group. And Danielle came in and talked to them about friendship and how to carry themselves as a young lady, and how to be an entrepreneur, how to use their money to work for them. Instead of asking for money for a phone or asking for money for shoes, using that money to put back into your business. She even gave me an idea for the girl, which I'm going to surprise her at the luncheon next month, of sewing back into her. If you like doing crafts, getting a gift card to Michael's, so that she can use that gift card to do more things that she likes. So that actually gave me an idea for something I'm going to do at the luncheon, which I'll share with you all later. We've also had, we've had a lot of people come. We've also had, God, it was so many I can't remember. But those that we have coming up, we have Jillian Stewart, who is the founder of Signature Taste by Jillian, and she's also a nurse. And so she has her own catering company. And so she's coming in this coming Tuesday because one of our girls wants to be a chef. And so she's going to bring a nice, easy, cold dish that the young lady can help her with, be her sous chef, and help her prepare. And they'll get to ask her questions about what she does. Her being a nurse is great because they're both STEM schools. STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. And so they get 2 for the price of 1. And then we had Dr. Millhouse come in, who is a urological doctor. And so she came in and spoke to them, our big kids, the 6th to 7th grade girls, about sex, the right conversation about sex. So she came in and spoke to the girls, and they talked about sex and sexting. I was shocked that they knew so much. Well, I wasn't shocked because they live with their phones, but they knew so much about sexting, and she played a true or false game with them to see if they had been paying attention. They had conversations about STDs, and it was great because weeks later, I hear them referring to the things that they heard Dr. Millhouse share with them to their peers. So they were able to know information and share it with them, and knowing that they were able to give it back to someone else let me know that they were paying attention. And so with these next actually today, they're going to shadow. As soon as I get off the radio show, I have to go pick up some of the girls because we are going on a shadow day. They met with Dr. Leach, Desiree Leach, who is a scientist for Northwestern Medical Lab, and she is going to allow for us to come and shadow her today. So myself and 3 of the girls are going down to Northwestern Hospital downtown to shadow the medical lab, and this is very important because one of our girls wants to be a scientist. And so she got to see a real scientist that looks like her. And also Dr. Leach was a track star in Ohio. And 3 of our girls are on the track team. So they got to bend her ear about that, get little tips on how to hold their arms and bend their knees. And so it was good to see them interact with someone who has done and mastered some of the same avenues and paths that they want to take. And one thing about Dr. Leach, she has a foundation, non-for-profit, called Color in Medicine, where she, along with other African Americans in the field of medicine, mentor students who want to be doctors or go into the medical field. And one of the girls, as I stated, Ms. Banks, she wants to be a scientist, and so Dr. Leach gave her an application to apply to be in her mentoring program. So because of that, now we have a girl in our group that is going to get the mentoring, the feedback, the resources that she needs to be able to go into the field that she wants to go into, and she's only in 7th grade. Now, Dr. Leach even said she would change the requirements to bring her in because it's typically for high school students. But because she saw the drive and the desire in Ms. Banks' eyes, she's willing to extend the invitation to her even though she doesn't fit the requirements. Quality over quantity. And that is the whole purpose of Young Ladies at All Times. I don't care if someone asked me once in an interview or podcast, do you see this going globally? I do. It would be great. But I don't want it to go globally if it's going to lose its quality. I like the fact that I get to be in the room with these girls and see their eyes light up when they see somebody they like. I like the fact that they never look at their phone because they're intrigued by what's being said to them. I like the fact that people are extending a branch and reaching out to these girls and giving them an opportunity based on what their passion is. I like that. and I'm going to continue to do it for as long as the Lord allows me to. And so when we come back after this break, I'm going to share with you some exciting news about where Young Ladies at All Times is heading next. So stay with us. We'll be back shortly.
Welcome back to Underneath the Hat with your host, author Sherri Simmons.
Hi, welcome back. This is Underneath the Hat, an affiliate of VIGILANT Broadcasting and the Talk Radio and TV Network, LLP. I am your host, Sherri Simmons, and all this hour we've been discussing my mentoring program, Young Ladies at All Times. And the program fosters toward girls ages 10 through 14 years old. And it all started from me working on a dissertation for my master's and being an intermediate math teacher in Chicago and seeing that these girls were basically mimicking what they saw on reality TV. So I wanted to see what could I do to help them to live the quote that Marian Edelman says, of you can't be what you don't see. So I wanted to make sure that they were able to see beyond the windows in their neighborhoods, see beyond the television screen, and to find out what their gifts and talents and passions were, and bringing women around them that looked like them, that lived like they used to, and are now doing the things that they want to do. And so when we left before the last break, I was sharing what we're doing today. So I tried to do a monthly trip with the girls, just something to get them out of their neighborhood, expose them to different things, because I know people say that the TV is the idiot box. That's what they used to call it when I was growing up. The TV is the idiot box. Well, I've learned a lot from TV. But it also had to do with what I was watching and the mindset that I was in. I'm the type of person where I can see the forest. I can see the forest and not so much the trees. And so I can watch, which I love to watch, by the way. It's my guilty pleasure, reality TV. But I can see, they're in Jamaica. I'm going to look that place up. So I look past the foolishness that might be going on, and I can hear deeper than what they're actually discussing or see things that other people might not pay attention to. And as a teacher, I have learned so much from traveling and going to different places And so I love to do monthly trips with my students, so I figured why not do it with them? So every month, because we have 2 branches, one at Nicholson STEM Academy and one at Whitworth, and they're different ages, I wanted them to be able to still see each other and mesh and build a relationship. So the first outing we had was in March. We did like a fellowship, getting to know you trip to the bowling alley. And they had fun. I made it fun. They got to compete with each other and make teams, and we had cash prizes for the team that won and a cash prize for the individual that scored the most points. And so for April, we didn't get to go where we initially wanted to go, but we made up for it today. And first, I'm taking my 6th and 7th grade girls to shadow Dr. Desiree Leach at Northwestern Medical Laboratory. So as soon as I get off the radio, I'm going to meet the girls so we can head downtown. Then we're going to have lunch downtown. They want seafood, so I have to figure out a nice, inexpensive place where they can go and get their seafood. And then we're leaving downtown to go meet up with the girls, the 4th and 5th grade girls and Mrs. Baker at 4 o'clock, so that we can go to Foam Glow Chicago in Joliet. Now, I have participated with Ms. Baker, my best friend. We've done the color run a couple of years ago, and it was fun. And so she saw that on Facebook, how they were promoting free registration. I was like, that would be a good idea. So 3 of my girls are going. 3 of the girls from 4th and 5th grade are going, along with her daughter and us 2. And we created our own Young Ladies at All Times team, and we're going to participate in the Foam Glow Run. Now, this run is in Joliet at the Chicagoland Speedway. And check-in starts at 5:30, but the race doesn't start till 8:30. So they get a T-shirt, they get a medal for finishing the race, they get their number, and we're just going to have fun. They're going to get to run through bubbles and bubbles all over the place, foam all over the place with different neon colors in it that'll stick to their clothes, and they'll get to wear tutus and little neon necklaces and bracelets. So we're just going to walk and have fun and fellowship and be silly. And I'm actually excited, but I'll be with these kids for 12 hours. So from 11 o'clock today to 11 o'clock tonight. And they're excited about it. A lot more girls wish they could have gone, but because it's Memorial Day weekend, they have family plans, birthdays. So I'm just glad that we'll be able to experience this with them and that they'll be able to enjoy it. So that's what we're doing for the month of May. And I'm super excited about it. Can't wait. I'm already dressed and ready to go and got my bag because I know we're going to be sticky from bubbles and things like that. So I need to make sure I get the protection from the car so that they don't mess up the interior of my car with these bubbles and these colors. But I'm excited because they're being exposed to something else. They're going to see what other people do. And with us being little brown girls from Chicago going to Joliet, everybody won't look like them. And so now they'll have to practice etiquette on how to handle other people. They'll get to realize that not everyone acts like you. Not everyone responds the way that you do. And so how are you going to handle yourself in these situations? And the etiquette classes that they received, they were able to learn from how to carry themselves at the table, how to get in and out of a car, how to have a meal, how to just carry themselves in these situations, because I know eventually you may have to handle a business deal at a dinner table or on a golf course, and people are watching how you carry yourself. So I wanted to make sure that they were equipped with those things. And this is another way of trying to see how they're going to handle themselves. So we're going to do that in May. And our culminating activity, because this program goes from March until June. I will be having a luncheon for the girls. And if you're on the Facebook page, you should see the flyer popping up now. And this luncheon is so important to me. This is another one of my babies because this is my way of celebrating the girls. And so the name of the luncheon is Young Ladies at All Times Sundresses and Hats Luncheon. And this is where at the end of the spring cohort, we honor the girls. They're going to receive awards. They are going to be sewn into with words of encouragement from various women. They're going to share what they've done throughout these 3 months that we've been together. Their families will be invited. The women that have come and spoken to them in the past will be there. All other girls, friends, and family will be there. And so I want to invite all of you out to come and be a part of this event. It's not just for my girls. Yes, this is a culminating activity to celebrate them. And yes, I've tied in my birthday celebration with them to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. But this is for all women, young, seasoned, and I call them seasoned because season adds flavor. Season makes things taste better. And for those women who are over a particular age, they have knowledge that we don't have. And so I want there to be women from across the age limit in this room, celebrating each other, telling each other that we're important, and to love yourself first, and that to always try your best, and that a smile goes a long way, and to touch the lives of someone every day. This is a celebration for women who carry themselves as ladies or young ladies at all times. So I want this room to be filled with women so that we can show these girls, these young ladies, that you can get there too. It might be hard now, but you can make it. To share their stories and take selfies. We have some great food from Signature Taste by Jillian. She's going to be our caterer. We have decor by Quinny's Creations, who's my younger sister. She has her own company. She's going to decorate the place for us. We have music by DJ Soul Cat, who is a female DJ. And I want to make sure that all of the vendors that were there were women so that they can see I can do that too. So the tickets are $25, and all of the proceeds, let me say it again, all of the proceeds, because I don't think people realize, they say, oh, you have a book, you got web series, you got Young Ladies at All Times, but the money that I use to do all that I do with these girls comes from my pocket. Let me say it again. The money that I use to work with these girls comes from my pocket. So I just wanted everybody out there to know it's not going into my pocket. This is the money that will be used to help the girls. So all of the proceeds from your $25 will go back into Young Ladies at All Times so that we can extend it to another school next year, which I'm in the process of working on now. We might be in 3 schools next year instead of 2, which means more girls, more finances. So all of the proceeds will go directly back into the girls. Again, the tickets are $25. You can get your tickets on eventbrite.com. Just type in Young Ladies at All Times. Or you can go to my page, Sherri Simmons, or the Young Ladies at All Times page, or the Underneath the Hat page, and there'll be a link that will take you directly to the ticket. Now, I know this is June. This will be on Saturday, June 22nd. Saturday, June 22nd, from 12 o'clock p.m. to 3 o'clock p.m. I know this is right after prom, right after graduation. Kids are out of school. You're preparing for vacations. I understand. But if you can't go, you can send to go. You can donate a ticket or just send us a donation. There's also a tab or a button on Eventbrite for any donations that you give. But we're going to have fun. We're going to dance. We're going to have a praise dance from some young ladies at Union Missionary Baptist Church. We're going to have music. We're going to be taking selfies. We're going to have a photo booth. We're going to have great food from Jillian. I'm excited. My mouth is watering just thinking about the menu. We're going to have a candy table that Queen's Creations is going to have. So there will be something for everybody. So I ask that you get your tickets now, get your $25, go to eventbrite.com, get your sundress and your hat, or if you don't have a hat, get a fascinator. If you don't have a fascinator, just come. But we're going to enjoy ourselves. And then we'll get to honor and recognize our girls. We're also going to give out an award to 3 very special women who have helped me to make sure that my dream comes true. We're going to honor them with our Angel of the Year award. And we're also going to hear from the girls themselves. We're working on putting together a video of them sharing their legacy and interviewing one another about the things that they enjoy most about being in this program and what they have learned from this program, in addition to a slideshow of various pictures of all the things that we have done. So I am so excited about what is to come for young ladies at all times. And I know that I could not do it without important people in my life, and this will be my opportunity to personally thank them for it. We're going to have speakers. London Purnell, who is a former student of mine, who is now a sophomore at Bennett College. She's coming. She's also an entrepreneur. She's going to sow seeds into the young girls, being that she's only a few years older than them. Then we have Miranda Chanel, who's a licensed clinical social worker, and you've also heard her on the radio show and seen her on my web series Underneath the Hat on YouTube. She will be there sowing seeds about living your best life and coming from underneath the hat. And then we're going to have Dr. Truly Taylor, who is my mentor and also on my board of directors. She's going to come and sow seeds into me. So I am so excited about our sundresses and hats luncheon on June 22nd from 12 o'clock p.m. to 3 o'clock p.m. here in Chicago on 70th and King Drive. Again, tickets are $25. You can come. Your daughter can come. Your auntie, your grandmother. I want all women of all shades, of all ages in the room looking their best in their sundresses and hats so that we can all see what we can be. Because, again, Marian Wright Edelman said you can't be what you don't see. And I want these girls, along with other women in the room, to see what they can be. This is our time, ladies, to empower. Here in Chicago, we have our first female mayor, black mayor, in office. Anything is possible. And I can't wait to see what these girls end up doing. So, again, eventbrite.com, type in Young Ladies at All Times. Tickets are $25. If you can't come, donate a ticket or just leave a donation. All proceeds will go back towards the foundation. I also want to let you know my book, Underneath the Hat, is available on Amazon.com or wherever books are sold. You can go to my YouTube channel, Underneath the Hat web series, subscribe, look at all the videos we've done so far about some of the same topics I've discussed on this show. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Underneath the Hat, at Young Ladies at All Times, at Sherri Simmons. You can also find my website, SherriSimmons.com, where everything will be posted. And next week's show, we will be talking about women on the move. My guest will be Maja McCassell, the founder of Strengthening a Nation, and Sheridan S. Davis, the founder of Chocolate Chip and Company, LLC, and the author of Church Girl 1 and 2. My name is Sherri Simmons. This is Underneath the Hat, an affiliate of Vigilant Broadcasting and the Talk Radio and TV Network, LLP. And remember to take care of yourself underneath the hat. See you next week.
Thank you for tuning in to Underneath the Hat's radio show. We will see you here again next Saturday at 10 o'clock a.m. Central Time. Follow Sherri on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Underneath the Hat and visit her website, SherriSimmons.com. Always remember to take care of yourself underneath the hat. See you next week. Thank you for tuning in to Underneath the Hat radio show. We will see you here again next Saturday at 10 o'clock a.m. Central Time. Follow Sherri on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Underneath the Hat and visit her website, SherriSimmons.com. Always remember to take care of yourself underneath the hat. See you next week.